All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have another review for you. It's going to be the Merkury Innovations Muv let's just call it Muv portable wireless speaker. Now, I did find this for a reasonable price. It was $14.99. Let me look at that price tag underneath. Can't even see it, but yeah, it was $14.99 at Ross. They do sell these in blue and red so far. So if you're one of those people where you're looking to get something real fast, that's where you pick it up. But for review purposes, before you buy, let's go ahead and unbox this bad boy and see how good it actually sounds. Alrighty, so let's already did the pleasure of tearing the little tape that's on the bottom of this with my key. I'm gonna go ahead and shake this open and do a little unboxing for you guys that are interested in what comes inside of this headset, because I'm sure some people might have already bought this. I gotta be honest with you, when I was looking at the front of the box, I actually thought that this was much bigger than what it was. It's actually kind of disappointing that I see how small the speaker actually is, but hopefully it has some decent sound, because apparently it has 45 millimeter is that what we call it, millimeter drivers? I believe that's how you say it. All right, so far it does come with, unfortunately it's USB. Let me tear that open so you guys can actually see that. Let's see, here we are. It comes with the micro USB cord as usual, like most headsets. Toss that to the side for right now. It does have your instructions inside, which we're going to go ahead and take a look at together real fast. Here we are. Let me put the headset over here if you can see it. All right, so what do we have here? Wow, the charge time for this isn't really good. Up to 3 hours play time, charging time 2 hours. So I'll be honest with you, I kind of expected this to have a much better battery life, but it doesn't have it, unfortunately. Bluetooth wise, doesn't even say if it's Bluetooth 5.1, but we'll take a look at that in a moment. But for now, let's just go ahead and finish the unboxing process. So it will come like this. This is the speaker right here. This is the handlebar, which it looks like it probably is removable, if we're being honest, but you should probably keep it inside just to be safe, because it looks like you'll have an issue squeezing this rubber back into this little groove right here, which could be a real pain. I don't know if it was manually done or machine done, but either way, whatever you do, just don't pull that out. And that's your little handle right here. But if you're tired of the handle, you can just push this down a little bit, pull this out, pull the other side out, and it flattens it out. But underneath the handle right here, you have your buttons, have your mode, minus, plus, and play. 9 times out of 10, if you hold this, it'll probably change the actual, what's the word looking for, song title, song list. But remember, it also depends on how you're viewing and streaming your information from. For me, I use my own personal music, so it's easier for me to navigate that I actually download. On the other hand, if you're streaming or if you're watching YouTube, some of the commands may or may not work, so be aware of that. But anyway, play and pause. On the back right here, we have the micro USB. It looks like this guy actually takes a SD card. You can play music directly from this without any type of Bluetooth connection, so that's a cool thing. Right here we have the USB, and this is the on and off. Now, I was under the impression that this came with a 3.5 headphone jack, but I guess it doesn't. Yeah, it says it does. So it looks like the model that I got didn't come with it. This is supposed to come with a 3.5 headphone jack for phones. That's weird. Where did the jack even go? I gotta look for that. I gotta look that up. Anyway, looking at this, it does look pretty nice in my opinion. It's nothing super special or anything like that, but it's a very small speaker. What I will say is it feels solid. Like if you squeeze it, it feels like it could take a fall. Not bad. It could stand up on either end, but I'm going to go ahead and assume that these are the speakers since they press in like that on both sides. Then I'm assuming this is a speaker grill on the front. You do have your stand on the bottom, which is plastic on this, so you can actually peel this back if you choose to, but I'm going to leave it on, and it just sits like so. So it's very simple, very simplistic headset. Again, I mean, it says that it takes a headphone jack, which a 3.5 jack it comes with, but there is literally nothing here to suggest that a headphone jack could go inside of it. Like, I'm not crazy here, am I? Yeah, I don't see it. I do not see it. Maybe they made a mistake. I'm honestly going to say maybe I can't lift the Merkury sign up or anything. Wait, actually, I just twisted it off. It popped right off. Oh, this is cheap. Oh my goodness. All right, so that does twist off. Oh, twist off on both sides. I guess they might be replaceable or something like that. I don't know why it just twists off that easy, but let me tighten it up to be safe. All right, so it's in there. But yeah, I do not see anything, which is weird. This literally says, if you look at the instructions, it comes with 3.5 aux cable. I do not see where that aux cable gets plugged in. Maybe I missed it. But for review purposes, we're gonna go ahead and just go through the sync process like normal, sync some music to it and see how this bad boy really sounds. And I'll see if I can find a headphone jack by that time. All right, guys, so it's time to put this guy in pair mode. Then we're gonna do some music. But first, pair mode, the most important thing. Power button is right here, so you don't have to worry about holding anything to put it in sync. You just go ahead and turn it on. It'll make this little noise that you heard. It's gonna go ahead and blink. Give it a couple seconds. All right, I believe it's in pair mode right now. So let's go ahead and slide the phone on over. See if we can actually get it to connect. Because otherwise I might have to hit the mode button to actually get it to connect. Sometimes these products are returned. It didn't look like it was previously open. Remember, it is at a Ross clothing store, so temper your expectations. So I'm looking for it now. Okay, so Merkury S043S. All right, go ahead and put that up there for you. You tap that. I need to remember that name because that's the actual name of the headset. It doesn't tell you that on the front. So we're not going to do the call log thing. All right, there we go. Let me just go to the options anyway and do contact sharing just because I should have turned it on in the first place. Here we are. So the sync process is very easy. Like I said, it just connects, disconnects, you're good to go. So let's turn it off. See if that Bluetooth symbol goes away. I don't think it's connected anymore. There we go. And then let's turn it on. See how fast it connects. Yep, it's connected that fast. All right, so cool. It has a pretty fast connection to it. This USB in the back, I would assume this USB is probably for file transfer if you have an SD card inside of this for the internal memory to transfer music files. The mode does put this in Bluetooth mode. In addition to it puts it in radio mode, and you can use the play button from what I've read to actually scan stations, though I don't use radio whatsoever. I'm not interested in that. I'm only using it for the Bluetooth purposes. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know any current radio stations. I know it sounds like I'm old, but everything is streaming. So, you know, that's how I normally do things. So anyway, let's go ahead to the next section, which would be actually playing music off this device. All right, so here is how the music is going to sound. Now, I did already do a test myself, so I have a general idea of how it's going to sound. And I'm not going to be able to blast it necessarily because I am working. I'm on my break. I'm off in the office just doing some work. I'm the only one here. So let's see if I can find some music for you guys. First off, let me go ahead back here. File manager. Let's see. Audio. Here we are. All right, so let's play something and see how this guy sounds. All right. Just so you know, what I'm playing is something that I made many moons ago. We're talking like back early 20s when I was trying to figure out how to make FL Studio. But it's good enough where at least YouTube can't cancel my page and say it's copyright strike. Get tired of that and wait for the beat to drop. Don't have much bass. Okay. Not horrible, but the noises, the regular music that you're hearing overpowers the bass like a lot. Everything else is coming out just fine. Though, again, this isn't mixed properly, just for you guys to know. And I'm purposely using this just to show that when you're playing with other instruments and things in FL Studio, or whatever music creation program you're using, every speaker isn't going to be able to handle what it is that you're doing. So I could probably combine 4 or 5, 6 different types of basses, and it's so faint that you can't really hear it. It's like boom, boom, right there. See? It's non-existent. So for those that are looking for the musical experience to be able to hear bass, this is not the ideal headset for that. For you guys that are looking for, let's say, what's the word I'm looking for here? Just audio podcasting. I think this does better with voices and whatnot. It's not very good with that. So let me try to play something else to kind of give it some bass. All The remake. I don't have copies of the same thing. All right, let's try this one. See how the bass hits. Okay, you do feel the bass a little better. But again, on this, I remember specifically using, I'm all over the place, about 5 different basses in combination. And it sounds much better if you're using a regular headset or over-the-head headset, because you feel it a lot more. And speakers don't always do a good job without the subwoofer and things like that to kind of, it doesn't have the oomph. Like the bass feels really non-existent on this particular speaker. It's not bad or anything like that. But for $14.99, honestly, with the landscape of speakers, I've done Five Below speakers that actually sound better than this, in my opinion. And of course, it's not the loudest. I mean, it does have volume. What I will say is, because I tested this before during the recording, let me pause that now. Yeah, the volume on it isn't bad at all. Like, in terms of total volume, it actually sounds really good. If we're just talking about how it sounds if I was to just listen to music out loud, again, if you're doing a study session, you know, lo-fi lolly girl, whatever it is, lo-fi girl, that's fine, because it plays a different types of music, assortment of music. But if you're, like I said, a rocker, and I always use rock and rap as an example, obviously people listen to more than that, I know that, so there's going to be people in the comments saying something smart. But if you're into certain genres, right, more traditional genres of music, the bass on this isn't that great. The all-around sound, like the music itself, the instruments, the background, the vocals are definitely going to sound louder on this than the actual bass, which is fine, because bass just doesn't everything doesn't need to have heavy bass. So let me be on the record saying that everything doesn't have to have heavy bass. But if you're looking for a standalone speaker that does have heavy bass, then this is not ideal. And at that $15 price point, you could probably find something around 20 bucks or so that actually sounds better than this, especially on sale. But if you're going across this in a Ross or a Burlington, well, not Burlington, because I can't confirm if they have it, but Ross, it's not bad. But of course, that 2-hour charge time and then 3-hour listening time is kind of a buzzkill to me, because most headsets should at minimum have at least 8 hours, in my opinion. I know a lot of higher end brands obviously have 20-30 hours of in just one charge time and fast charging and all that. This doesn't have fast charging. It doesn't have rapid charging or anything like that. It's just a generic basic headset. I mean, a headset. I guess you can classify this as, well, not a headset, but a speaker. And like I said before, in addition to that, it uses the micro USB. Here's your connections on the back. So, you know, for someone that prefers listening to the radio and things like that, then you can use it as a standalone device. But if you're hooked up to a phone, well, this is the process. And yeah, I will say right now that I went through this entire speaker looking at everything, and it does not, I repeat, does not have a 3.5 headphone jack. I don't know why the instructions say that. Like, that's very, very weird to me, that the instructions literally says that it has a 3.5 headphone jack, and it doesn't. And it says it comes with one inside the box, which means that they probably just copied and recycled somebody else's information and then did it that way. Like, there's nothing signifying a 3.5 headphone jack, and it claims that it comes with it. So that's definitely a huge, huge error that's going to turn off a lot of potential buyers, because I personally bought it because of the headphone jack. That's why I have a phone with a headphone jack, and turns out it's only Bluetooth. So it is what it is. But anyway, with that being said, let's kind of talk about, is this product actually worth purchasing? All right, guys, so to answer your question, whether this is actually worth $14.99, and that's probably the reduced price, to be honest, because Merkury sells a lot of headsets, some at Five Below, some aren't, and it really depends. But what I will say about this particular headset is, no, I do not believe for 1 second that this is worth $15. And this is the reason why. I've done many, many headsets at Five Below that sound very, very good, that are very cheap. And as the price suggests, it's no longer Five Below now, but they tend to last longer or have better sound. A perfect example of this is, I have this speaker right here. This guy right here has a 2-hour battery life, and it has the RGB lights. It has all those features, and it's not a bad speaker. And this was actually on sale for $6, but it was half price, 50% off. So I got it for $3. So you have to ask yourself, Now, I'm not saying that the design is better, or I'm not even saying that the sound is necessarily better than this. But what I'm saying is that Five Below has so many options. And if you follow my channel, which I have to get back to putting more budget stuff on here, budget friendly, I've come across better headsets that were for $5, $6, $5.25, $8, $10, $15, whatever it is. Most of those headsets far surpass this one. Now, again, the reason it's being sold for $14.99 is because it made its way to a Ross store. Normally, if this was at Five Below, this would be like an $8 speaker, or maybe $10 because of the handle, and they're trying to make money off of that. But I don't see anything that says an IP rating for this inside of the instructions. Maybe it's me. I read it multiple times. I just don't see it. It says that it has aux, micro USB, and micro USB. So even if it has an aux mode for the USB mode, which we talked about right here, and the chip that allows you to put an SD card inside of it, it doesn't change the fact that there is no 3.5 headphone jack. And that's a huge typo. Like that's the reason why I bought the product. To be honest, the box didn't even tell me the battery life. I had to open it up and read the actual instructions, where it told me that this only has a 2 to 3 hour battery life. And the 3 hour battery life more so is a realistic feature if we're talking about having it at a certain sound volume, like 70, 80%. When the things that are at 100%, they're normally not tested extensively, especially with cheaper products. Now, something like Beats, something like AirPods, something like Razer products or Atrix products, those are more reputable companies than Merkury, in my opinion. At least when I say reputable, I'm referring to they have better products with better quality. So when you're charged a certain amount, you expect to walk away with a certain expectation. With these, you go to Ross, you see it inside the box. The presentation looked really nice to me. It was wrapped up. I'm like, okay, they don't want anybody to steal it. Let me go ahead and buy it. And again, I tempered my expectations. I didn't expect to have a Beats pill or the it was an Anchor pill that I reviewed some time ago, probably sometime last year. It doesn't have any bass boost. It doesn't have any discernible features. It doesn't have any application support, stuff like that. But sometimes you see something in the store and it's just interesting and you want to buy it. And initially when I first saw this, I'm like, yo, this is smaller than the picture on the box. As soon as I opened it up, I'm like, oh boy, I'm going to be disappointed. I'm looking at the Merkury sign right here. It's crooked, like glued in wrong. So I kind of had to like turn it back. You can tell it's a cheap product without a doubt. And again, if you're buying this for someone and you just want to get them a quick gift and you happen to be at a Ross store, I understand. You grab it. It'll be good enough for the occasion. But if you have the time, go to Five Below, find yourself a better speaker. If you have the time, go to Best Buy. They have a lot of sales. Find yourself a speaker. I consciously cannot suggest this for $15. But for those that do buy it, you may not have a problem with it whatsoever. It's not like it's a horrible speaker. So I'm not going to talk down on it because of the quality of the speaker. I'm just talking down on it because of the price, and I've reviewed too many things in the same price range and cheaper that outclass it. So that's why I can't suggest it. But it's not the worst speaker in the world. I'm sure we've come across more suspect products online that just sucked. But anyway, I ramble on long enough. That is the review. Let me know what you guys think. Some people in the comment section may love the speaker, and cool, if you love it, different strokes for different folks. I totally understand that. But when you do hundreds of products, or how many products I did on this page, and when we talk about hundreds, I'm talking about in my lifetime of not being a YouTuber and stuff that I haven't posted, it's kind of hard to suggest this when plainly you already know it's a subpar product. But anyway, that's the review. So like always, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one where we talk more tech. And till then, be safe.